Peter continues, says, wherefore, beloved, seeing that you look for such things. What are we looking for? I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the day. I mean, Revelation completes with saying, come quickly. The day is coming. We know that based on what is written, that the return of the Messiah is going to be exciting for some, but not for everybody. Everybody's not going to be excited about his return. And so my thing is that I have to make sure that I stay in a place to where people who aren't excited about his return don't affect me. Because Peter is going to address this. You see, he says, wherefore, beloved, seeing that you look for such things. Well, first of all, you got to be looking. You got to be looking for his return. And if that is not on the forefront of your mind, you know what you'll do? You will lapse into carnal living. That's what will happen. You become concerned about all of the cares of this world, all the stuff you got to deal with. Yeah, you got to work. Yeah, you got to eat. You got bills to pay. And sometimes we overextend ourselves, and now we got all of this weight on us. We find ourselves burdened with cares, and these burdens can consume our thought life. And once these burdens begin to consume our thought life, our focus on his return become minimized, and our burdens become big. I mean, all of a sudden, the problems in the world become bigger than the one who's able to solve the problems. We can't see him for the issue. Can't look around the issue because it's too big. And the way the enemy works is he don't just bring you one problem and say, figure that out. It seems like he brings you a whole bunch of them all at once. People say, well, man, just when you thought it couldn't get any worse. Just one thing after another, because see, here's the thing that the enemy has figured out, and Yeshua tried to get us. He says, listen, guys, understand something. Don't worry. So what does the devil do? Worry. You got this to worry about. You got that to worry about. You got this to worry about. You got all this stuff to worry about. Because he understands that if he can get you into a place of worry, you're not in a place of faith. And without faith, it's impossible to please him. And who comes to him must first believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of him that diligently seek him. So if he rewards me, if I diligently seek him, the enemy don't want me to be rewarded, because his job is to what? Steal, kill, and destroy. So he wants to take all of your joy, because he knows the joy of Jehovah is your strength, and burden you with problems. It's hard to be joyful when you're burdened with problems. It's hard to be excited about life when you can't see past tomorrow. It's like, man, if I could just get through today, can't sleep because of worry. Go to bed worrying, wake up worrying. Talking about I can't pray, I need some help. That's exactly what the enemy wants to do, is to burden us down. And so we have to study how he works, because he's studying how to work us. And we have to understand that our struggle is not against flesh and blood. And so what we have to understand is, okay, well, how does the enemy work? How has he been so effective over these millennium? How has he been able to continually get people of faith to abandon their faith? What mechanisms, what schemes, what wiles does he do? And I can't figure that out for you, but what I can do is that if I examine me like the enemy has examined me, then I can see how the enemy's examination on me have been used against me up to this point. How has the devil kept me from moving forward? What has he done? Has he used relationships? What relationships? Who has he used to get to me? What has he used to get to me? What picture has he painted for me to focus on to keep me from focusing on where my focus should be? The Bible says we have to be mindful of the schemes, which means that the devil is scheming against me, and the moment I figure out the schemes that he's using against me, now I know how he operates or how he has operated in my life. And here's the thing about the devil. The devil is dumb. Now, I know folks get upset when I say that. Now, it's like, you know what? I'm convinced he's dumb. I'm convinced he's been defeated. I'm convinced he's not something that I need to be afraid of. I'm convinced that I have victory over him. I'm convinced that my Messiah defeated him once and for all and made a show of it openly. So I'm not concerned. My concern is not about what the devil can do. My concern is keeping my eyes on the one who have already defeated him and given me the victory. Because if he can get me to take my focus off the one who have given me the victory, then he can place me under his authority instead of me operating in authority and putting him where he belongs, which is where? Under our feet. I don't have to be afraid of the devil, but I do have to be mindful of how has he tricked me in the past. See, this is the thing about people who aren't able to grow, people who are stuck. I think the devil has arrested development. In other words, he's stuck in an era, but he don't have to grow because what he's been using for thousands and thousands of years is still effective. So what has he done? How does he work? How has he operated? But here's what I know that Peter says. He says, wherefore, beloved, seeing that you look for such things, be diligent that you may be found of him in peace, which means I'm not worried. Without spot, which means that, okay, I see the mistakes that I've made. Now I need to clean this act up. See, I know. One of the things that I've watched about people is, I mean, we're very selfish. One thing we want, people who have relationships, for whatever reason, you find husbands who got a wife think about somebody other than the wife. Wife who's got a husband think about somebody other than the husband. Girlfriend and boyfriend think about whether or not they're going to make it and if they would be better off with somebody else. Single person think about, I need somebody, right? So you got all of this thinking and scheming, trying to figure out how to get one's needs met, and the enemy is in the mix orchestrating a lot of these thoughts. Why? Because the way he operates is in here. If he can get you in, if he can get in here, then he can distract you. And the whole goal is to distract you from the author and finisher of your faith. The one who started this work in you is the one who is going to finish this work in us as long as we stay in his hand, or as Jeremiah would say, on the potter's wheel. As long as we stay on the wheel and he's molding and shaping us, understanding that he knows what we need and he's only interested in our best interests, then he is committed to providing for us in a manner to where our lives are filled. So what should we do? We should stay focused. Peter says, being found of him in peace, without spot and blameless. Look at what these words mean. Blameless, that cannot be censored. In other words, is there anything in your life that somebody can correct you on? Is there anything in your life that is unkept, not in order? Blameless. This word spot, free from censor, free from vice. Is there something in your life that gets the best of you? One of the things that gets the best of most people is their emotions. If the enemy can get you in your emotion, he moves you out of rationale and you become irrational. Emotional people are irrational people and they don't think straight. They operate out of emotion. And an emotional person makes more problems for themselves than do good. Because they're led, if you're led by your emotions, you are not being led by the Spirit. And those who are led by the Spirit are the sons of God.
For more information, visit www.arthurbaileyministries.com or call 888-899-1479. This program is made possible through financial contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.